So in the last tutorial, we learned how to read the contents of a file either by reading it line by line with the read line function or the read function, which read in the full contents of it. So now that you know how to read the contents of a file, let's work on how do you write the contents of a file. So opening up our last script, which was our script called namescript.py. Here we read in the contents of the file. But let's say we wanted to overwrite the contents of the file. So here we opened up the file with our open function because now we'll be doing a write. The big difference here is we'll be using the mode write. So instead of an R, we'll be putting a W. In the last tutorial, we opened up the file and then we closed it. So let's go ahead and reopen that file. So we can just really copy this file here, copy this line, and change the mode. So we're going to reopen the file. So let's put a comment there. I'm going to reopen the file in write mode. Go ahead and paste that same line here, just down here. Let's expand this window a little bit. And we're going to change this R because now we're going to be writing. We're going to overwrite the content of this file with brand new content. We're going to change that R to a W. And then, so whatever we want to output to this file, we're going to have to do a write operation. So similar to our read, we're going to do a write. And write does, it just overwrites the value based off of this W. So here we're going to call names file because again it's a pointer to the file that we're going to perform some operation on. Instead of a read, we're going to do a write, and the write function takes in a string as a parameter. It's going to write out the string to file. So in this case we're going to write brand new names, let's say Bill, and by doing just a .write Bill, it's going to override all the contents that's in names.txt, but now with Bill. So once you're done writing, you always, similar to what we've done with this close for our read, we want to do exactly the same. So we're going to do a namesfile.close to close out the file. So let's go ahead and run it and see what happens. So what it should do is, based off of the write function here, it's going to, the script is going to read in all the values, it's going to print out the values, and then it's going to overwrite the values with the name Bill. So let's go ahead and run. So we did not have any output with Bill, but what it did, just like last time, it read the names of the file and it output them. And then, so now let's check what's the content of our file. Let's go ahead and close this and open up our names.txt. And there it is, Bill. So we overwrote the names that was in our text file before, our names.txt file. There are 4 names, and now we overwrote them with Bill. So let's go back to the script. Let's say we want to add more content to our file, not just Bill. So I'll close this file. And inside here, so first I'm going to put in a comment, and it's going to say, write. We're going to write the new name. So let's say we had more names that we wanted to add. Let's say we wanted to add the name Joan, and we wanted to add the name Juan. So what this will do is, again, it will read in the content because our file now has just Bill inside. It's going to read in Bill, it's going to output Bill, and then it's going to write out these new names to the file. So let's run that again. So that's why, because we overwrote the file before, only the name Bill was there. So let's go back into our file and see what is actually the contents of our file now. It should be Bill, Joan, and Juan. And there it is, Bill, Joan, and Juan. You notice that the format is different. That's because when you output, you have to output special formatting, or by default, it's not going to have the spaces. So we've learned in previous weeks of special characters. So let's go ahead and close this. We're going to add special characters or escape characters after every single name. So we're going to put one here, a new line character, and a new line character here. So the name it's going to read in is Bill, Joan, and Juan on one line, but then we're going to overwrite that with Bill on the next line, Joan on the next line, Juan, and that's because we're using the escape characters here. Let's go ahead and rerun this. Okay, so there's a one line with our names all combined, but if we open up the script, the text file, you see that now they're on separate lines, similar to the original format that we had with John and Sally and the other two. So let's go back to our script. So this script, because we added these escape clauses, the escape characters, the names were put on separate lines instead of having it all on one line. And then again, I'll just finish this comment here. We close the file, so we guarantee that whatever we wrote actually was written to file, and then we end our script there.